I am wearing my New Japan Pro Wrestling shirt for a very good reason. So first things first, let's talk about Wrestle Kingdom 15. It's in the books now. I know it happened last week. I don't know about you, John. I was a little bummed because, like, for the last couple months in 2020, I was like, all right, I'm going to be on vacation. I can stay up and watch Wrestle Kingdom. My dumbass, I didn't look at the calendar closely. I didn't realize, one, that Wrestle Kingdom's always on. Was it January 4th? And now they had the second night, January 5th. I assume I was still going to be off, but January 4th and 5th are Monday, Tuesday, and I went back to work on Monday, January 4th. So here in the Bay Area for where we're at, Wrestle Kingdom Night 1 technically started, Sunday night into Monday morning. I was like, crap, I got to go to bed early. I got work the next day. So I couldn't watch live in real time. Of course, when I woke up getting ready for work for the morning show, I see it's like Night 1 was just wrapping up. And so I see like all the tweets and reactions. So I'm like getting ready for work, or I get to work and I see all like the results happening, which I don't care about spoilers. That's fine. I'll look into it. But I was like, all right, I need to find some time to watch this. So this past Saturday, I watched Night 1. And I just finished Night 2 right before we hit the record button times. I've been trying to find free time to watch back-to-back nights of this awesome show. I think at this point, most wrestling fans or people who care about Wrestle Kingdom have probably seen it, have their own opinions. I think for this point, I still want to have a discussion about it just because I know it's one of the biggest shows of the year. So we'll go through some of the highlights, some of our favorite moments of matches and whatnot. So we'll start big. And so, yeah, John, just curious, just your overall reaction to Night 1 and Night 2 of Wrestle Kingdom 15.
I thought they did a good job because all things considered through the pandemic.
Yeah.
And, they pulled it off. 2 nights of wrestling. I preferred Night 2 because they had 2 really sensational matches that I really liked. One being Jeff Cobb and Shingo Takagi.
Yeah.
And the main event with Jay White and Kota Ibushi, I thought was a really good throwback, slow-paced, main event built to just a great finale. Night 1 was fun too, but I prefer that Night 2 just a tad bit more. But yeah, it was cool. It's just cool it's cool, but also a bummer because last few years we've been staying up all night watching it. Like we had a group of us.
Nice.
Gary Gonzalez, who I do the Fight Game podcast with, our buddy, the Heartbreak Kid, David Rubio, our buddy, and buddy Jeremy. Like we'd get together, and Meltzer too. Like sometimes at Meltzer's house, we'd all get together, watch this, and we'd be cool. Like we're not even tired. Like we're just like that's weird, but we're like, but this year I'm like, hell no, I cannot stay up that late. So what I did, as I was working, I guess shit. I hope no one from my boss ain't listening to this, but as I work from home,
yeah, do
a little something, watch a match, do a little something, watch it. I actually avoided spoilers. I didn't go on social media or nothing, so I'm pretty good at that somehow. I don't know how I do it, but I'm able to just stay away from my phone, and I finished the shows, and it was cool. Maybe that's what made it so much fun. I didn't know what was going to happen.
Man, I'm jealous of you. I'm the complete opposite. I will look online and see what happened. I'm like, because for me with work, I always got to be on social media pretty much anyway for breaking news on the morning show and whatnot. And so for me on my personal account, I follow all wrestling related news sites, personalities, all that. So it's like, as soon as I log on, it's all like, with the algorithm, it's like all those results are up at the top and I see everything. Yeah. Of course, I log in, I see Ibushi with both titles. I'm like, oh, he won. Okay, finally he wins the titles. Good for him. But it's like, and then of course I just read more like the comments and see people's reaction. I'm like, okay, people were giving thumbs up for him. I'm like, okay, cool. I cannot wait to sit down and actually see the whole story, how this played out. For me, I was actually kind of leaning towards a little bit towards Night 1. I don't know why. I just I really enjoy Naito and Ibushi's match together. Just Naito, he's so much fun to watch, and even Okada. What can you say about Okada? He's arguably one of the greats, and him and Will Ospreay, I just put on a banger. Just Tanahashi, go Ace, all that stuff. So, there's a lot of stuff. Even the tag match with Guerrillas of Destiny. So there was so much fun. And I guess it's a lot more people I'm recognize or familiar with their work. As far as that's kind of like a New Year's resolution I have, is I want to watch more New Japan Pro Wrestling this year. Unfortunately, with our, you and I both, our busy schedules, I can't watch every single wrestling show that I want to. Like, I'm behind on NXT UK. I'm behind on MLW. I will admit, NWA Power on hiatus has been a blessing because I've been able to catch up on other stuff. So it's so with New Japan, I definitely want to get into the habit. I mean, I've been paying for New Japan World this whole time. It's almost been like a gym membership where I pay for it, but I've been using it as much as I should be. So I definitely want to, start watching like Strong on the regular. I saw the big announcement during the show that a US TV deal is in the works, a new one for them. So fingers crossed we'll get a official word soon. I'm really happy for them. That way we have something here in America that we can watch on a regular basis as well. So I'm really excited for all that stuff. But it was a lot of fun. I'm with you. Like the last couple of years, I was staying up late and just all the adrenaline, and it was great. And you see all these other people tuning in live all around the world and reacting. So it's like this wrestling community live up in the middle of the night giving their reaction. So I always get super excited. But for like you said, I couldn't watch it live this year, so I was a little bummed. But yeah, let's go ahead and just jump a little more into night one specifically. I thought like the opening, I guess what do you call it, the New Japan Rambo, it's like their version of like a Royal Rumble, which is like which is a little bit different as far as, the final four were going to wrestle the following night for the King of Pro, or excuse me,
gimmick title, whatever.
King of Pro Wrestling 2021. So like their version of what, the 24/7 title in a way.
Yeah.
But it was cool. I mean, Yano always makes me laugh, and he was in the final four without actually entering the match. So that was kind of cool. Like he's like still walking to the ring. It's like he's the final four already. So I really did enjoy the opening match with Takahashi versus El Phantasmo. El Phantasmo like kind of using a lot of like former Bullet Club members gimmicks in the match. I don't know, how about you? What do you think of that like little opener that they had together?
For me, I was disappointed in both junior title matches, night one and night two. Just seemed like a lot of expedition of moves, and I don't know. I didn't feel like I like the match. I feel like a wrestling match, and just didn't feel like a wrestling match to me. I mean, they did crazy stuff. I mean, they're both nuts and great athletes, but like I think like ELP or a Phantasmo, like I think he plays a heel, but I don't feel like he is a heel. Like some people think he has a great heel, but I just see like you're playing a heel. Like I don't believe that you are a heel. Like Rick Rude, I believe he was a heel, right? So that's what I kind of feel from us. So I wasn't really into it. Now for on the Fight Game podcast that I do, we also we have a Japanese show called High Tension that I'm on.
Nice.
We just reviewed like Tokyo Dome 96 to gear up for this. And so I just watched like Liger and Koji Kanemoto, and like it was a great freaking match. So I just watched that, so maybe that kind of affected my like viewing of these two junior title matches. But other than that, I mean, I was a little disappointed, especially in night two. It was we talk about with Hiromu and Ishimori. I thought that disappointed me as well.
Yeah, no, I will admit. So when I was watching night two earlier tonight, I was kind of tuning out a bit. Like I was doing other stuff, and I feel like a match, if it keeps me engaged the whole time watching, then that's great. But if I find myself kind of dozing off, or not dozing off like sleeping, but like thinking about other things, daydreaming, or thinking about something else, or checking on my phone, then I'm like, okay, what's going on in this match that's making me lose my attention? And so I could definitely see what you're saying as far as with the match tonight for the junior heavyweight championship. But for night one, I really enjoyed the tag match though with Grills of Destiny. I love how they use their dad's Ming or Haku, whatever you want to call him, his old move in WCW, where he flips him over his head and his brother grabs him and then power bombs him. I thought that was awesome. Yeah, it's going old school there. So that was fun. And then even Zack Sabre Jr., man, like I have like I don't know how to say it. not say love hate, but like sometimes his matches, like it gets like super technical and like super like submission holds, and I'm like, they're just laying there on the ground sometimes, and like I kind of want a little more upbeat action. This match, he was, laying into them and, really going toe to toe with back and forth a lot of the strikes.
Yeah, and I also think Taichi was really good. I don't think he gets enough credit that he deserves. I mean, he's a really good worker. He's a character, but he can go in that ring. He knows when to show up, and I like a guy that's also the character and can do it in the ring. So
yeah,
I thought that was good. I liked it. I just thought it could have been like, It was like 19 minutes long. I thought it could have been like 14 minutes and would have been fun.
Yeah. I heard you saying, let's look at the time. Yeah. Also, Kenta, retained the U.S. Championship briefcase. We also saw the promo with Moxley earlier tonight. So it looked like he was doing that from the New Japan Strong TV set. So do you think Kenta and Moxley are just going to have their match in L.A. and just tape it there eventually?
I'm guessing it's already taped.
Yeah, I would hope so too. At this point,
so much stuff in the can apparently from New Japan Strong that he's there filming that promo. We just come in for a promo where they actually film a match too, right?
Yeah.
So I could see that happening.
Yeah, I was gonna say because he lives in Vegas. He probably just drove 4 hours down over and just probably film the match. I don't know. Part of me is I wonder. There's still people still want to see New Japan AEW work together in some capacity. I still have hope. I'm holding out hope. Maybe Kenta versus Moxley will be on AEW soil or an AEW matchup of some sort. Revolution is not too far away in February, I believe. So maybe something can happen there. Kenta can maybe show up. I kind of wonder if Moxley and Omega are going to have a rematch at Revolution, but maybe Kenta can get involved somehow. I mean, a really big surprise. I don't know. I mean, that's just being, fantasy talk right there. See if that can happen. But it should happen at some point, hopefully. I think Kenta's been holding that briefcase for a long time.
Yeah, I wonder what will... I just have... My gut feeling says they might have filmed something already. And I mean, will it be beneficial just to put on New Japan World, But I mean, people want to join up or rejoin to see the match or maybe whatever see, it won't be on their US TV deal, whatever that is.
Yeah.
And I'm hearing that US TV deal might be underwhelming for people from once it's announced. So we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see what's on. I don't know what's going to be on, but I doubt Tony Khan would want that on New Japan's television show in the United States, right? No matter where it's at, I would. So that's what I'm thinking. Maybe World only would be fine, like a nice kind of just have a medium for both companies,
and just Moxley have it just drop the title, get it off him, and then
he might retain it. I'm not saying he'd lose it. So
okay,
he might retain it, and maybe they can hold off for another time where he can, I would say get the belt off him if you're not gonna be able to use him, just so you have that as your main championship for your United States TV show. That's what I would do.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm hoping too as well. That, and not jumping ahead, but I mean, apparently Ibushi wants the IWGP Heavyweight and Intercontinental titles to merge together.
He's tired carrying both of them.
Yeah. I was like, come on, man! What, you like carrying all that gold, man? But if it's true, if they're gonna merge,
suitcase heavy.
carrying his his bag or his on air for air flight or his carry on bag.
Kind of say split them up because at one point, I mean the Intercontinental title at New Japan was equal drawing to the heavyweight championship, especially when Tanahashi had it, right? And Nakamura for it. Like they could definitely throw that on its own show. Like they made that title important, right? And I would like to see them kind of break that off, but they have so many titles there now. I mean, we got this, King of Comedy's title with Yano, and I don't know what it's called, but
King of Pro Wrestling,
6-man tag titles. Like I hate 6-man tag titles. It's for a Lucha Libre company, but
yeah,
like just tons of titles. The U.S. title, it's just nuts.
Never open weight. The 2 tag titles, the juniors and the regular heavyweight one. No, they do have a lot of belts, so that's why I was wondering if they merge the IC and the heavyweight together, then maybe they'll give more emphasis on the U.S. title, and then like what you said, it maybe will have a stronger presence and rarely represent the U.S. brand. Was it New Japan Pro Wrestling of America deal that, and then if they get a TV deal, that title really become like their second tier title, aka their first title or main title here in America. So I guess that's cool, but I mean, yeah, I'm with you. The Intercontinental title, I mean, I just the name Intercontinental for a lot of maybe casual wrestling fans, when they hear that, I think a lot of people still assume, okay, I know this is not WWE, but like when you hear that, maybe they initially think, oh, it's like a working man's title or working person's title. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I think, it still has a lot of prestige to it. So I would hate to see it just disappear or get absorbed into one. So I'm with you. I like having its own thing, but at the same time, yeah, like a lot of titles though. So it's like you get a title. So we'll see.
Absorb it with the heavyweight championship. At least it would make the never open weight title mean a little bit more as a secondary title. So I mean, I'm all for less. As a kid, I used to think it was cool that WCW had the World Tag Team titles and the WWE United States Tag Team titles. I thought that was cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
Favorite tag team ever. Midnight Express held it, U.S. tag title. So
yeah.
But as I started learning about booking and stuff, it's like, two main championships devalues the other championships. So it's best to kind of keep it just a couple titles, and it makes it mean more, when there's only a few and then a lot, because it's just too many is just too much of anything. So.
Yeah, and so we'll see how this plays out. I mean, I definitely can't wait to see Kenta and Moxley go at it at some point, hopefully in the near future. Yeah, totally. And then Tanahashi defeated Grado Khan. Cool, Grado Khan, back from his excursion. So I didn't really.
He's a very polarizing guy on the internet. Like some people love him, and some people. It's mostly American fans I've noticed that really don't like him, but like the Japanese fans, from my understanding, from my buddy Justin Nipper, who's like, he's from Japan or he lived in Japan, he really knows the culture, and like, he's like from the New Japan Japanese fans, like they're with it. They're it's a new character and it's his new character gimmick. They're not like against him. But people are like, he's boring in this, but I like him. I like he's different. Like, you can't have a whole show full of Randy Ortons, right? I mean, Randy Orton's tremendous, but you can't have 20 of him because it just would be boring, right? But like one guy could be different, needs to be different. You have all kind of different kind of flavors. And Great Khan, he's a gimmick and he's learning and he's still young, so obviously that character is going to evolve. And apparently he's the one that came up with this character, I found out. So I dug the entrance. He had a competitive match with Tanahashi. Japan losing is not like a bad thing. Like when you're coming up, right, in your career, like just being competitive, being strong, it gets you over the audience and just actually winning every time, right?
Well,
I liked it.
And it's Tanahashi. I mean, he's arguably one of the greats over there.
Yeah. My all-time favorites, man. He's tremendous.
Yeah, and so of course I always geek out when his music "Go Ace" like just coming out.
It's like people like or not write him off, but like he still has like another run in him. I think like he picks. He's older now, so he has to pick his spots, right?
Yeah, he is. Let's see, 44. So
44, but like a lot of wear and tear. Like he's been, a lot of these great matches, etc. But still, like he knows, he's so smart. Like he's truly one of the best workers I've seen. Like I was like, I never got to see Jack Briscoe live. I saw Ric Flair towards the end of his career. But like, I was able to go see Tanahashi live a few times, especially like in MSG when I saw him with Zack Sabre and they had a great match. Like,
yeah,
like it's just like to see him like now. It's like, man, it's truly one of the all-time greats. When he came, like he's up there with like Ricky Steamboats and Flair. I mean, like I can go on and on about Tanahashi. Like I said, so he still has a run in him. Like you could still do. I mean, Tanahashi Ibushi for the title is going to be big still, right? I mean, so he's just ageless, in my opinion. He's tremendous.
Looks great too. I mean, come on, just look wise. I mean, I watch him. I'm like, he still looks great and can put on an awesome match. It's funny. Did you go to the New Japan show at the Cow Palace a couple years ago?
Oh yeah, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so I think I told you before, Ray. I went to the press conference over on Treasure Island the day before, and afterwards we went to the rooms in the back for like the individual one-on-one, like ask questions. My brother and I, we we walked and turned the corner, and this Tanahashi is right there. Like my brother almost runs into him, but he's But he's like, whoa. And then my brother's like, whoa, there's Tanahashi. Like, we're seeing all these guys we've seen on TV for years in person now. And my brother's like, whoa, it's Tanahashi. And Tanahashi was like smiling. It's like, so probably for them it was a big kick to be in San Francisco, to be in California and America and representing New Japan Pro Wrestling. So just from my one little, almost running into him in the hallway, he was nice. So I'm like, okay, cool.
And he just oozed star power. He oozed being a legend. Like, I mean, I saw him at the Long Beach shows. He wrestled Billy Gunn. A lot of people were disappointed, like, oh, he should have had a better opponent. But, you know, the match was okay. It wasn't great. But, guys, it's worth seeing the entrance, though. Yeah. And the way he controls the crowd. Like, he has everyone glued to him when he comes out. And he just like I said, we're privileged to see him wrestle right now.
Yeah, totally.
You should not like take this lightly.
Absolutely. And then a match I really enjoyed was Okada versus Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay, I should also mention with Grado Khan together, along with Jeff Cobb and Bea Priestley. They have like the Empire, newer faction in New Japan. Like I said, I don't watch enough New Japan, so I'm like, okay, the Empire, awesome, cool. I don't know, but for you, like, is it cool to have another faction in New Japan Pro Wrestling with all of them? Well,
turning Ospreay heel, and at the same time, Jeff Cobb and Grado Khan was, I guess he was a heel from the start. There's a way to change things up on their show too. Now, just like you, like I've been so busy, kids, like. It's hard to keep up with all these shows, so I missed the heel turn. I remember reading about it, and I think, oh, that's cool. It's different, And so this match here, I was really looking forward to not just have them having a great match, but I want to see how Ospreay worked as a heel. I want to see, are you going to show me something different? And to me, I just saw the same old Ospreay, And a lot of people are like, well, he tried to suplex him through a table and he tried to pile drive him, but being a heel is not still doing the same moves, just saying F you to the crowd. Like it's presence, it's timing, it's a lot more than just that. Right.
Yeah.
And he's not there yet. He's young, so like, hopefully he'll grow into it or hope someone give him guidance to it. Even like little things he has his girlfriend Bea Priestley there, like, get her involved. Let her yank a leg out from Okada, or jump in front of him when Okada is gonna do something to him. She distracts. Dude, if I was him, watch a lot of Macho Man and Sherry Martel stuff.
Absolutely.
Anything with Sherry Martel, DiBiase, Sherry Martel, like use her if she's gonna be out there. And get the heat, because people know that you're so talented in your little pinky finger. You can do 6 flips in 2 seconds. I can almost trip when I just go get my kid water, right? Like, he could do this so much. He could just do so much. But if he pulls back a little bit and cheats to do stuff to get an advantage, people will start hating him because like they know you can wrestle honorably. Don't need to do this, and now you're just taking shortcuts. And
yeah,
a lot of people love that match. I mean, the finish was really good. I had Ibushi and Naito ahead of it personally for me, but a lot of people for night one had Okada, Ospreay. But for me, the main event was the best match of night one for sure.
Well, also with Bea Priestley is, she's a good worker herself, so she could take a bump or get involved in a match and do something that from a wrestling standpoint that will stand out compared to maybe someone else just standing out there. So she can like really get involved in a match and maybe take an angle to the next level with her, athleticism herself. And that's what's always kind of surprising for me when I was watching. She was just standing there and just more or less giving cues like, oh, here he comes, Will, or watch out. And it's like, you can hear pretty loud. I mean, that's something I noticed with the crowd there, it was like what, 20,000 only, if I remember correctly.
Well, they can't scream and yell, they can only clap. So
Exactly.
More stuff. You're hearing the commentators at ringside, you know.
Yeah.
It's so audible. But I think like for her, I wouldn't bump her or anything for a very long time. Here's another issue with I saying that you should use her, get heat that way. But like in New Japan, you can flat out hit someone over the head with a baseball bat in front of the referee, you're not going to get disqualified, right?
Yeah.
You have like your whole faction to interfere, and then you're not going to get disqualified. So how can you really get the heat when the referees don't really enforce the rules? And that's another issue. And that, just like this match here with Ospreay and Okada, like that spot with the table, right? It was pretty nutty, right? But what was driving me nuts about it was it took way longer than 20 seconds to do this spot, and they have a 20 count on the outside.
Yeah.
And the Red Shoes is not out there. He's in the middle of the ring. He hasn't even started his count yet the whole time. And I hate bending of the rules to benefit you to do something, a spot. Like, you should work around the rules, not put the rules aside so you could do something. It's a pet peeve of mine. It drives me fucking insane.
Well, no, I'm with you because it from a kayfabe standpoint, keeps it believable and, separating disbelief. It's like all that stuff. Like if I'm watching this and if it's like takes 30, 40 seconds to do something, I'm like, wait a sec. You're violating all the rules. It doesn't make sense. So I'm with you on that. But I mean, from an athletic standpoint, amazing to watch visually. But Will Ospreay, I mean, I know the big thing was during the pandemic, or he was working out, gaining a lot of weight, trying to move up in weight class. So I know I was going to save a little bit more of the Jay White discussion for the end about his future. So maybe for Will Ospreay's sake, I know he signed an extension last year, I believe it was. But so maybe, if Jay White's leaving, Will Ospreay can kind of move on up as far as his presence on the roster and, maybe future titles and whatnot. So, but main event, Ibushi, Naito. I mean, Ibushi must have like a steel neck. Like, I mean, they were showing highlights, from last year's Wrestle Kingdom, and just the one when he fell on the apron, right? I was like, oh my God, slow motion. I was like, I can't believe, he lived that night after that night. It was just amazing.
He had neck surgery years ago.
Yeah.
He's not young. He's like, what, 30 something? I mean,
38, I think it is.
38. I mean, that's young.
I know. Yeah. Here we are.
But like, I'm talking about wrestling years, and neck injury, right? So, I mean, he's a freak athlete, though, right? Too. And he's able to wear and tear, but it's eventually going to catch up to you. But, no, I like this match. It was a culmination of their series of matches and their history, which, like one of my favorite shows attending live was the New Japan MSG show in 2019. Mainly the New Japan stuff, the ROH stuff, you can have it. I mean, during the ladder match, 4-way ladder match, what the hell it was, I had to go get a soda. I was like,
going Taven in it.
I just had to go. I wasn't into it, but I mean, shit, you condensed it down, that New Japan stuff, amazing. And Naito and Bushi just tore the house. I mean, the crowd was rumbling, dude. Like, MSG was rumbling. And to me, that wasn't even the best match of the night. The best match tonight was one of the best matches I've ever seen live in history, was Okada Jay White. It was just a classic world championship title match. But like that, at first I'm like, okay, nothing's going to follow this, right? I don't think she just tore it up. And they went nuts. And they did here too. It was a little slower paced than MSG, but it was a culmination of their program and crowned Ibushi. Thank God. I was a little worried that Grado might pull some shenanigans in the booking, but no, I mean, we got to go. 2021 for New Japan has to be Ibushi's year. So
and the fact that in the G1 he was in the finals the last 3 years, won the last 2. It's like, come on. At this point, either S or get off the pot. You gotta crown him, or I think if you don't, then I think at this point people will lose all like faith in him as a competitor. Like he's can't win the big title or the big moment. So for him, as far as just his legacy and his career at this point in his career, to win the titles or both titles, super happy moment for him. Naito, very respectful handing both belts to him. I thought that was a very cool moment. But the match itself was great. I mean, Naito, trying to do his finisher, Ibushi counter, knees him in the face. I was like, oh, that was such a great finish right there. I enjoy that. Just like Naito was like, oh, he's gonna go for it again, but no, Ibushi countered, and all that was just so much fun. I really enjoyed the two of them working together. It was so much fun. So yeah, night one, like I said, I really enjoyed night one. Just seeing Okada, Will Ospreay, all that stuff. But so night two, since that's so fresh in my head just now. But yeah, I so the opening match, it was the four guys for the comedy titles. You said,
I admit I usually don't do this, but that was more when I was working. I was working as it was happening.
Yeah,
just this King of Comedy Championship is what I call it. It's like. Was it for? I know
it's a trophy, right? Is that all it is?
I think so.
It looks like a participation trophy. I used to get it when I played youth basketball. I mean, that's what it was. It looked like.
I think Okada actually created this. This is like Okada idea. So let's not have him thing ever, right?
No.
Main event matches we're cool with, bro. But don't get in the booking side of things.
No, if you can't go work at AEW then or something like that. Oh. But, I'm sorry, I love AEW, but basic match. The Fatal 4-Way. I mean, the two guys from Bullet Club, Bad Luck Fale and Chase Owens. They were kind of working together, and at the very end, Bad Luck Fale interrupts Chase Owens' pin and says, "If I win, we both win." Chase is like, "No, if I win, we both win. If you win, you just win." So it was like a little miscommunication. Obviously, they both want to win. And then obviously, Yano came up from behind and low blowed him and then rolled up Bushi for the win. So, all right, cool. Yano, another year having that's that championship is made just for him, ultimately. Yeah. So good for him. Next up, so it was the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Titles. So we saw. Man, I don't want to butcher these names. So Suzuki Gun taking on 1R8. Good, solid match here. I mean, this was something I was like, oh, it was on in the background. I was doing some other stuff. Good tag match, I guess. I mean, like I said, I thought the tag match from the night one was better out of the two if you had to compare it. But no, it did its thing as far as getting everyone out there. Cool. But then next up, a match that I was super looking forward to, obviously, with the connection, here in the Bay Area. So for the Never Openweight Championship, Shingo Takagi, I'm mispronouncing it. Takagi, taking on our boy, Jeff Cobb. Dude, I saw, what was it, on Facebook, I saw Marcus Mack posting, like, dude, this is my type of match. Just like seeing people comment on it early in the week. I was like, I cannot wait to watch this. Dude, this match, two big hosses going at it, hard hitting. Dude, I'm so impressed. Like, I love this one. How about you?
Oh, yeah, this match I was super excited for Jeff. I mean, continuing having these great moments, like, God, now the Tokyo Dome, singles match at the Tokyo Dome. And he just goes out there and kills it. They both did. But, like, I could tell Jeff was just everything. There's, like, a little extra on everything he did. Like, he got a little extra height on that jumping European in the corner. Like, a little more oomph on some suplexes. Like, he got high on that drop kick that he just – I used to tell him, like, all the time, like, dude, just do the drop kick for me. Because I just love seeing you just coast up. Like, for a guy his size and thickness, like, he just like God, man, he's such an amazing athlete. That's why he was known for a very long time as Mr. Athletic Jeff Cobb.
Yeah.
And they had this great match, and I was hoping he was gonna win because I'm like, why did they had two Empire guys lose night one?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, the Empire needs something, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was a little shocked that Takagi won this one. I know they have their own story of Takagi never ever beaten Jeff Cobb. Mm-hmm. And I thought, like, okay, this is still a story they can kind of extend into, like, 2021. But no, right when Jeff hurt his knee, I knew the finish. I knew he was going to tour the islands. I knew he's not going to be able to cover them right away. And I love that how Takagi still protected Jeff's finish. He didn't do the old fucking kick out of the guy's finish. He put his leg on the ropes. Like, he got his legs on the ropes, like struggled to get there, last second. So that was really good. And I was just so happy. I was like into this match big time. And, it's like a family member, doing something great. So just overwhelmed. And I don't know. It was like, to me, it was so awesome to see. I'm so happy for Jeff, man. He's such a great guy. And he's works really freaking hard. So I'm stoked. And I know not only the world took notice, but I know the people in the office in New Japan took notice. So I'm expecting bigger and better things in 2021 for Jeff Cobb. And
absolutely. I just even love how I think it was Jeff. He picked up Shingo and like he was on his belly and then picked him up and still suplex him like the
double gut wrench.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude. I was like, whoa, because like normally the guys maybe standing, you easily just throw him over yourself, but he was like laying his belly on the mat and pick him up initially and then still throw him over. I was like, whoa, dude, that alone. But I love the little detail there of his knee was hurt, and he did toward the islands. And after he landed, he was like just in pain, grab his knee, and then Shingo was able to roll closer to the ropes. And then, as you said, go for the pin, boom, put the foot up on the rope. So just that little detail, it was like he hit it, but it's just the cost of the injury he got in the match. So love all that aspect of it. So no, for Jeff Cobb, even in defeat, still look like a badass. Even afterwards, they're trying to take him out of the ring. He's still trying to get back in there and still wanted more. So I love all that stuff. So that was great.
The next night was it New Year's Dash?
Yeah.
They're big, so the Empire won like a 6-man tag. So, maybe like
change of momentum.
They just want, now it's time for new stories. Obviously New Year's Dash that's what it's all about. New stories, new direction. So we'll see what they're gonna do with the Empire. I think there's Jeff Cobb could team with Ospreay or Grado Khan, and they did in the tag tournament. Grado Khan. So. And of course, I assume that Jeff will be in G1 this year because it's been 2 years in a row now. So. And the Japan Cup's coming up. So
a lot of big things, man. Looking forward to that. Sonata taking on Evil here. Sonata picks up the win. Evil, who was a 2-belt champion earlier this year when he took it off Naito. Solid match. I mean,
I was not into this one, man. Like, because I've watched like here and there in 2020, just here and there for New Japan. Like I make sure I watch all the big stuff,
Yeah.
I found out Evil in the title. I watched that, and I watched most of the G1, all the important matches. And so here it is, like two former partners, former tag team champions together. I'm expecting some like grudge match, some like intensity. But they just had a match.
Yeah, it kind of went through the motions.
There's no intensity there. I felt like they didn't hate each other, which I feel like they should. They should have portrayed that, like, and just stupid shit. Like, to me, stupid shit. Like, Evil does this superplex off the top rope and just goes for a sharpshooter after that. Like, what? Do you want to pin the mother? Like go for a cover. 1, 2, kicks out, then you lock on a freaking sharpshooter. Like, to me, that just drives me insane. Like, show me that you're gonna want to win this match. Don't show me this is just an expedition that you guys are all planned out.
Yeah, totally. So it is what it is. We'll see how that goes for Sonata. Moving forward for Sonata, if he's gonna move. I mean, I think a lot of people still see big things from him. So if he moves up on or not, I don't know. Like, curious if he gets more into the main event scene at some point. Takahashi taking on Ishimori. This was going on, and I was kind of like tuning out a little bit. It was okay. As you said, it was kind of a little underwhelming a little bit. But it was like, I don't know. It was just I'm trying to remember what else about it. It was just as far as a lot of moves,
and no covering for, like, they hit these big moves, and when they're fresh and they don't cover, like, and it's stupid. They just do stupid things. Like, Hiromu goes up the ramp and he runs the ramp and he does this shotgun dropkick, I guess you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
And Ishimori just like turns into like a backbreaker or something like that, or just moves to the side and he falls. And I'm thinking like, well, yeah, if you're running 20 yards away, the guy's standing there. Like, I would do something too. I'd be pissed. The guy just sit there and took a move, but like once it just was dumb. I don't know. Maybe the timing was off.
Yeah.
And then like later on, like Ishimori, I know his submission is a double wrist lock, but like he did that spot where he did a springboard 450 onto Hiromu's arm. Like Hiromu's on the mat. He's trying to get it. He's trying to get his back to his feet, and Ishimori does the springboard 450 and goes right on his arm. I'm thinking like, I know you work on the arm, but dude, wouldn't you want to use your whole body weight on that 450 to land on the guy's body? You could do something simpler on that arm to cause damage to lead into your finish. I know it's not as flashy, but shit, like again, make me believe this is a match that you're trying to win. And so I was at this point, like that Jushin Liger Koji Kanemoto match from Tokyo Dome 1996. They do a lot of moves, but it's the story of Koji Kanemoto's like trying to get this big win over Liger, the man who, when he was Tiger Mask 3, Liger beat him and unmasked him. And so Koji Kanemoto now is this young punk champion, but he has to unload everything on Liger to get a win. But Liger overcomes, and like they were big moves, but it all meant something. He wasn't just thrown away and wasted.
Yeah. And I hear what you're saying. It's so this one, like I said, it was a lot going on. Takahashi wins. He's now the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. Great story for him as far as, what he's been through the last couple of years with the broken neck that you and I both saw in person at the Cap Palace.
So scary.
I know, dude. But so for seeing him win, awesome stuff. Seems so 2021, hopefully, be a good year for him as well. Main event time, Ibushi, Jay White, God, just 48 minutes of, I'm with the storytelling, the slow burn, but Jay White really, his heel work in this. I mean, I love when they're outside by the apron and the gate there, and Jay White's just throwing him Ibushi and saying like, F you. I was like, oh, damn. Like, he just really, from like, as you said, grudge, like he's taking it out on Ibushi. He's like pissed and laying into him. So his heel work in this match was so good.
Yeah, it's about the pacing, man, as a heel. And like Jay White gets it. He's not out there to be flashy. That's not his job. He's trying to keep heat. And he's such a classic worker, and he's so young. My God, I mean, to be this good at his age, holy shit! Like he is going to be an all-time great when it's all said and done, in my opinion. But they had a great match, a classic, and I love the story what he's doing with post-match and talking about what is he talking about? He's leaving or
his contract's up in it this month. Yeah.
He'll be there. I mean, God, New Japan born. I mean, I think he's the company guy. I'm surprised a lot of people, like when I was like on social media and people are picking this up, and I'm like, they don't know this is a
work. Yeah, I mean that's the thing.
Like right off the bat, I'm just saying, okay, this is a good way to take him off take him off a few shows and bring him back and have him refreshed with something new or some kind of new direction for him with the Bullet Club. Maybe the Bullet Club splits into two or whatever. There could be some struggle between him and the Evil, right? There's interesting ways they can go with it. That's why I thought like it's just way to get him kind of come back and fresh again. He just lost this big world championship match. So what's he gonna do from here now? Just kind of be in the middle? No. Take him off TV instead of just being middle wrestling matches and mid card until you find something for him to do. Like just take him off so when he comes back again, it's fresh.
Yeah, absolutely. It's this match here also I really enjoyed was Ibushi once again went into, as they call it, the zone, but like in a trance. Like it was about 2/3 into the match where what's the word? Like, yeah, he's in a trance, and like Jay White starts laying into him, and it's just like he's like gone full blown hulking up or superhero mode, where it just nothing was hurting him. And so I always like when that happens. We saw a little bit at night one, but like last year when he was falling over his neck, he was still like just in the zone. And so Jay White was like getting frustrated, and it's like, he's starting to get desperate and starts, like I said, trying to go all out and lay into Ibushi. And so that's really where I think that's where the match started really picking up even more. And so, oh my, so like you said, from the story standpoint, so good. I love that. And for as long as it was, I thought, like they said, the pacing was great, and the stories that they were trying to tell in these like increments throughout the match. And so that last third, things really started picking up. And I mean, God, like, there's a lot of ref bumps too. Also, I noticed, that weekend. Stuff. Yeah. So, Red Shoes falls out of the ring. Grado comes in. I love, he has like the knuckles. Ibushi catches the other arm, and then boom, lays the knee into him and takes him out. And then Jay White comes out, and then, Ibushi lays the knees into him and gets the victory there. So great main event.
As much as I don't like the interference with the Bullet Club and Grado and stuff, they overuse it, but Gato's such a smart booker. He's one of the greatest, right, of modern times.
Yeah.
And, the overuse of the Bullet Club interference this year, a lot of people are complaining about it. I didn't watch every show, but when I would read results, it'd be a lot more Bullet Club. More Bullet Club was for that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Grado.
Yeah.
With Grado and Ibushi. That was why he was doing it. You wanted people to get so sick and tired of it. So when he tries to do it again, ref bump, here we go again. Oh shit, Ibushi just stopped him. Our hero stopped him. Like, it's so much layers.
I know, dude. And that's the thing. You got to think about the details and the long form storytelling there. So no, I'm with you. That was a great moment. And Ibushi walks away, from the weekend, double champion. And 2021, as you said, hopefully it'll be a big year for him. Jay White, I know, cut that amazing backstage promo, and a lot of people are like, oh, he's leaving. Royal Rumble's coming. He's going to be there. Triple H is making a big play. I don't know. I think, he's probably going to stay with New Japan, man. Like,
I think it's, like I said, when I saw it, I'm like, this is just an angle. People.
It's a work, man. Like that. It was like, I was watching. I was like, this is just a great backstage promo he's cutting. Like,
never say never in wrestling. But
I know.
I'm gonna say I'm 99.8% sure that this is all just a work, and I'm sure I think Jay White will either, if he's not winning it, he might be for sure should be will probably be in the finals of the G1 this year.
Yeah. So great stuff. Wrestle Kingdom, a lot of fun. I just love seeing so many people online just get so hyped up for this, and it's a great way to kick off the new year. I think just as bad as 2020 was for a lot of reasons, 2021 I think was a great way just to kind of kick things up. And I anticipate 2021 should be a really fun year in pro wrestling in general.